What's up, guys? It's Really here, and we're gonna do What If Deku was the Avatar? The movie. So let's start. So today is the first day of UA. Izuku already did the exam. He had a recommendation. He best everyone, and then. So yeah, that's basically it, to be honest. Endeavor still hates him, to be honest. So yeah. It was the first day of UA, and Izuku was sitting near the window in the back. He was sitting in the second row in the back and looking in the window. Yes, classic anime protagonist looking at the window. So yeah, the class would start up to fill bit by bit, little by little, and after 30 minutes, the whole class became filled. When Izuku saw that everyone was there and it was almost time for Aizawa to wake up, so he woke up Aizawa himself. He would tap Aizawa on the shoulder and he would say, "Aizawa-sensei, wake up." And Aizawa would say, "5 more minutes." And Izuku would say, "Yep." As he would just put a little earth nudge for Aizawa to move, and he would just immediately stand up. As I would say, "Oh, fine, now wake up." Now so get out of the sleeping bag, and Izuku would just would just chill. Izuku would say, "Aizawa-sensei, you are always really sleepy, to be honest. No wonder you are an underground hero." They would say, "Okay, I get it. Now go to your seat." And Izuku would say, "Okay, fine." So would go back to the seat, and Aizawa would say his introduction, say, "Hello, my name is Shota Aizawa, and I'm your sensei, or your homeroom teacher. Now, can you get these uniforms and go? We're doing a quirk assessment test." Without even a second thought, Izuku just grabbed the uniform and go. Well, everyone was protesting, and Aizawa would say, "Hey, do it, or you're going to be expelled." As everyone was afraid to be expelled, they would go. The first one was the quirk assessment test, and first was Izuku. Aizawa first was Bakugo. He would say, "Okay, so you got first in the entrance exam, so here you go." Bakugo would say, "Ha, yes." Bakugo's a little bit more arrogant in this one, since Deku wasn't there to hold him back. Bakugo would throw the ball, and it would just reach about 650 meters. 680 meters, because he didn't really train at all, to be honest. He would say, "Okay, that's pretty decent for your quirk, because it seems like that it's never been trained, and yeah." Okay, next is Rin. Your next, Rin. As Rin would agree, saying, Okay, Aizawa-sensei." Rin was adopted by UA, so he hasn't really had a last name yet. So, meh. As he would just throw the ball, and he would create a giant earth pillar, and then some wind too. Todoroki would see this, and he would say, "You must have a half quirk like mine." As he would go, Izuku would do a few more wind blasts, and which reach really far, which actually gone to infinity. As Aizawa would say, "Good. And also, by this time, Izuku knew how to control the avatar state or just tap back and tap out. Okay, that's it. That's in the avatar state. Not like Korra, but kind of like Aang. He can just tap into the avatar state for a little while and then he's panting. So it will take a lot of energy from him. That's basically it, to be honest. So Aizawa would say, okay, so all of you go to your task, stand by. And in the race, Izuku just the chest fall thing that they did. Izuku just did the T position and he fell and he was flying and he just flew there and it was beating Ida's speed by a second or two. And then it was time for the grip strength. Izuku just used a little bit of air bending to metal bending, a little bit of metal bending and condensation bending. What was that? I forgot. Condensed bending. So yeah. And yeah, that's basically it. As I would say, good. That's really good, to be honest. Now, let's go. Izuku would continue acing all the exams, and that's really it. He got first in exams, and Momo got in second, and the rest goes on. Bakugo's pretty mad, and he would say, "Hey, that means that you aren't stronger than me, okay? I'm stronger than you." As Izuku would laugh to himself. At the outside, he wasn't really laughing at all, but in the inside, he was laughing pretty hard. And you guys, this is another wish that you'll choose to do the ship. So, you guys now should do the ship. So yeah, you guys can choose to do what ship that you will be doing. So yeah. As they would continue this, and after that, as I would say, alright, so Minoru Mineta. Okay, Minoru Mineta. I don't know if Hagakure will have the least amount of, points or whatsoever. But, I mean, come on. What? Fine. As I would say, alright, Minoru Mineta, you're expelled because you have one of the lowest scores, and I don't see any potential in you at all at being a hero. And you, Toru Hagakure, you're expelled from Class 1A. You'll now move on to Class 1B. I mean, 1B, yeah. What 1C? Because you have a potential to become a hero in stealth, I mean. So, yeah. Okay? Toru Hagakure would sign a relief, but she'll say goodbye to her fellow classmen. And they would go. I don't really care if Toru Hagakure got into Class 1B or 1C, so let's just say it's unannounced for now. Okay? So the new students will be coming in, 2 new students. So that would be, who should that be? Okay guys, I'll tell you the ships. So you guys could choose the ship. It'll be either female Todoroki or Momo female Todoroki or Momo, or basically it, female Todoroki or Tendo, female Todoroki or Momo. And you can comment what else you want. So yeah. So basically it, and they would go. Now they will already move into the dorm, since the doors are already made, and they would see Rin there reading. And and Mama would come up to him and ask, "Hey, what are you doing?" As Izuku would say, "I'm just reading some books. Not that special though." As Mama would take a look at the book, and it was actually one of the books of of bending and avatars. And Mama would say, "I haven't really seen this book before. Where'd you get it?" Izuku would say, Republic City. As Mama would say, "I haven't really heard of that city before." As Izuku not really giving out that much, Rin not giving that much information, will just ignore her. So yeah. I'm sorry guys for the background noise and the sniffles, because again, as you may know, I have a little sister and she has the sniffles. And yeah. So they'll basically do their stuff, and they'll basically have some socializing together, and we're back guys. Okay guys, I'm sorry for the cut, now let's continue. So Izuku would be doing this stuff, and yeah. They would say, as Mina would say, "Let's play Truth or Dare!" As they would usually all agree. They would spin the bottle, and this, it would lead to, it would continuously play and play until it was Rin's turn. Someone spun the bottle and it landed on Rin. So this one was Momo, okay? Momo would ask, the class would ask Rin Truth or Dare. As Rin would say, Truth? Because everyone knew each other, except for Rin. They would ask Rin what was his... Mo would ask, okay, so where do you find those books? And why haven't I heard of the Republic City you've been reading about? As Rin would begin to have a sad look on his face, and Momo Uraka would say, "I'm sorry, we didn't know it was a touchy subject." As Rin would say, it's fine. As you'd still have that old 12-year-old boy inside him. That's what he looks like now. And Rin would say, okay, so have you ever heard of the Legends of the Avatar? As the girl Momo would say yes. A few others would say yes too, and Momo would say that we haven't really heard of him and there wasn't really any news of him. Rin would say that I'm the Avatar, and he would say that I'm the Avatar, and to be honest, I miss my friends back home. I made a terrible mistake, and I just want to come back to them. As they would ask who. As Rin would go to his dorm, and he'll just take a photo and show it to them. As they would see a 12-year-old Rin with a girl. So they would see a 12-year-old Rin. They would see a lot of two pictures. So one of the people in the picture, and there was a few people there. One was a brown-haired girl with hazel eyes. She looked a little bit shorter than Rin. So, and the next one was Keto. They would see a boy with brown hair and gray eyes. Then they would see they would see they would see a brown-haired boy with yellowish eyes. This would be what was it again? Oh yeah. I'm sorry guys, this would be Cian. The next one, they would see a girl with black hair and dark brown eyes. This was Yuki. Yuki had dark brown eyes, okay? Next was a girl with brown hair and blue eyes. She looked like Katara, she kind of looked like Katara, but not really though, to be honest. She looks a little bit similar to Katara, but she doesn't. They'll ask who are these people. Rin would say that they're his friends and he never got to see them again because of one incident. An incident that led him here. As they'll ask what was the incident, as he would tell the story about how he was back then and all his friends. He was frozen in an iceberg and he got taken in by UA by the age of 12. He would tell them the important details because he wanted to get along with them better and know them well. And he wanted to build up a relationship to them. And he missed having a friends his age because he used to love having playdates with the gang. I still feel pity for him, and yeah, that's basically it. As Izuku would say, well, I gotta go now. As Izuku would go. As Robbie would say, I feel sorry for Rin, Carol. As Uraka would say, I feel sorry for him too. He had lost all his friends, and he lost his family. From what I heard, he also had a lot of he had some mentors that helped him. Suki Todoroki would say, to be honest, I agree too. To be honest, we don't really know what Rin's last name is, and from what I heard, back then they don't really have last names. Only a few people important had last names, to be honest. I still would agree. Ida would say, let's try to cheer our friend up. As they would agree. They would look out the window to see Rin with a pretty big buffalo, to be honest. It looked like a buffalo, a a buffalo, which was Aries, and Izuku hopped on him and decided to take some flying routes. As Kirishima would say, "What was that? That looks so manly and cool. That looks so manly and cool." As Thank you would say, "Yeah, I want to ride it too. This looks so awesome." As Bakugo would say, "Shh. That looks so dumb. And plus, how's that thing even flying?" As he'll get down and put Aries in the in the shell he had in his and Aries in his own spot. As Rin will just go and inside, and he'll just go to his and having a normal time. He would go to his mindscape and say, "Hey, look! Let's say Zuko and other Team Avatar are right there," and he'd say, "Hey, Zuko! Hey, Aang!" As Aang would say, "Yes? Can you call Zuko over here?" Aang would say, "Sure." As they would go and Ren would say, "Hey, Zuko! Guess I found your daughter. She has fire just like you and a burn mark." As the avatars in Team Avatar would laugh, except for Zuko, because they saw what Suki looked like. And as they would laugh, and that's basically it. They'll have their fun, and that's basically it, to be honest. So yeah. And the next day, All Might bust in and saying, "I am here." People would fanboy and fangirl over All Might, and All Might would say the things. All Might would tell them that they're doing a heroes versus villains assignment, and they would go. Izuku would walk out, and he would see his classmates, and his hero suit is basically I don't really know what his hero suit is going to be, but it's basically traditional Earth Kingdom clothing. So yeah. You also have the metal robes that and yeah. You also have a water pouch, just like Katara, probably, maybe. Well, never mind. You won't have the water. He'll have a little water pouch. So yeah, basically traditional Earth Kingdom, the shoes that the Republic City cops have for the seismic sense. As they would say, "Whoa, Rin, your outfit looks so cool." As Rin will agree, and they would go. The teams would still remain the same, to be honest, and that's basically it. So, Rin would use seismic sense, and he'd see the bomb is on the 6th floor, as he'll tell Uraraka. As Uraraka would say, "Sure," and Rin will explain the plan with bloodbending. "Yep, I'm doing them dirty." As he'll walk in, and Izuku would know where Bakugo is, and once he peeked his face, Izuku just bloodbended Bakugo and cupped him. As Uraraka would say, "Whoa, what's that?" And Izuku would say, "It's quite a villainous habit. It's quite a villainous bending style, which is called bloodbending. It's a dark art. Because we controlling the person's water inside their body, making them do whatever we want, controlling them physically. They can also remove quirks too, if you hit the right spots. As they were shocked. Araka would say, "Where'd you learn this?" Izuku said, "From an old bloodbender. I read a book about him. He's really dangerous, and he can take someone's bending, but never use it. Just, so yeah, it's pretty dangerous, so, yeah." They would see Ida there, and they only wasted 5 minutes there because of the seismic step, or seismic stance. They would go do their things, and they would see Ida, okay? They would see Tanya, Ida. Izuku would just bloodbend Ida, and that's basically it. And that is basically it, to be honest. And that's it. Okay? That's basically it. So yeah. The heroes won, and all my asked who was the MVP, and they would say Rin. Rin was the MVP. I would say correct, and I could have said Izuku that he could have at least let Ochako help, but Izuku would say that it's a hero's job to at least make the job as quick as can be, so we won't take a long time, because if we lose, for example, 10 seconds would be enough for a 10 seconds would be enough time to kill a villain, to kill a civilian. So yeah. And someone would say, good point, fine, you got me there, Rin. So yeah. That's basically it, to be honest. That's basically it. So yeah. I think I could do a few more arcs. Next event was the USJ event. Okay? Anything will happen, and they'll do their things, and yeah. That was base, and we do have it in canon, and the villains would attack. The villains would attack, and Izuku would just knock him off using some airbending techniques. Once Shigaraki and the gnome Kurogiri got out, they would see all the villains knocked out. As Shigaraki would say, "Oh crud, Nomu kill them," as Nomu would rush for Izawa, and but Izuku would help defend Aizawa and actually bloodbend the Nomu and kill him. He would see that's not human, so he bloodbended it to stay down. And then he used condensed bending and chopped off his head. Tomura would say he cheated, and they would escape. Tomura, Shigaraki, and Kurogiri would escape. So I guess we're going to leave off, guys, for the What if Deku was the Avatar or Avatar the Last Bender. Make sure to check for the description in the description for my Discord. So that's basically it, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. It's Relly signing off. 3, 2, 1, bye.